Absolutely never a doubt.
Never a doubt.
Never. Not once. 23-20 Kansas City Chiefs are back in the win column, back above 500, 6-5, and literally save their season, coming back from down 20-9 to beat the Indianapolis Colts 23-20 in overtime. Kent Swanson, Maddie Lane, and ladies and gentlemen,
What?
don't adjust your screens. You're right. That's Craig Stout in Kansas City, hanging out, celebrating a massive victory for the Kansas City Chiefs. Maddie, I will get to you in a second. Craig, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great, buddy. Chiefs over the Colts. Boy, that looked bleak for a little bit, didn't it, buddy? Boy, that first half looked real bleak.
Oh.
But I'm really only here anytime the defense plays really well and they win, right?
Yeah.
So it was inevitable. I mean, I was here already. We knew we were going to be doing the postgame show together. We should have predicted that Steve Spagnuolo was going to slow down this Colts offense a little bit here. So really, really, really good to be here. Really good to see a Chiefs win. Maddie, my friend, how are you doing today?
Oh, I had doubts. I had a lot of doubts during this game, fellas. There was plenty of doubts to be had. But hey, listen. The Chiefs pulled through in this one. It ended up being a fun game. This game could have, if they ended up losing this game at any point in time in the fourth quarter, this would have been a devastating game because there was so much that went wrong with the offense mostly. And it was looking bad. But hey, they pulled it out. They kept fighting. And I think this was the first time as the year gotten more real that the Chiefs might be missing the playoffs. They're in a fight for their life. This is the first time that it felt like they understood that they were in a fight for their life. This is the first time that they actually punched back and didn't just wobble over to the corner and sit down and take a loss. They actually felt like they were fighting to pull this one out, like they knew what was at stake. So that was nice to see after they did not have that same kind of energy last week.
Well, I think what's also kind of weird is it felt like they punched back for exactly 11 minutes of the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
That's
that
was what was also just kind of not alarming, but they definitely turned it on. They definitely emptied the bag a little bit here in this game. The defense, they needed as many 3-4 stops in a row to end this game, and they got them all. Steve Spagnuolo and the defense deserves a ton of credit for this game. You look at the box score and it's going to say 20 points, but really, I mean, it's 13.
Yeah.
It's 13 for the Kansas City Chiefs.
It is 13 for the Chiefs. I mean, that initial turnover there at the start, that was really not good here, but there at the end, entering the fourth quarter here. Here are the Colts drives by yardage in a row here. -2 yards. 3 plays, -2 yards for that. 3 plays, 7 yards. 3 plays, 6 yards. And then in overtime, 3 plays, 7 yards. The Kansas City Chiefs defense did not allow a first down in the fourth quarter or in overtime. The Chiefs offense certainly found their way. They did. It would have been nice to have it a little bit, especially with the touchdown there late in the fourth quarter, but this really does lay at kind of the feet of the Chiefs defense there and their ability to turn it on and slow down one of the league's most efficient offenses. So you're going to look at the box score, you're going to see all these numbers. Know that the majority of that makes it look a lot more even than it is came in the first 3 quarters, because after that, the Chiefs absolutely whooped the Colts on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, I mean, when you dive into this game a little bit further, like you dive into the advanced stuff, the Chiefs EPA per play 0.23, the Colts 0.08. They kind of beat them down across the board. You look at the success rates, anything you look at from this game says the Chiefs should have won by a lot more. They just kept failing. The 2 turnovers obviously play a big part in that, right? You gift the Colts 7 points off of. Mahomes probably shouldn't make that throw attempt to, but the Colts defensive end knew exactly what was coming and made a really good play on it. And then you have Mr. Kareem Hunt for his one mistake of an otherwise otherworldly game, has a fumble. Those 2 plays right there make this game a little closer. The constant failures in the red zone, which hey, that's kind of become the Chiefs' identity this year. But those constant failures make this game look closer. But when you really dive in, much like the Chiefs team all year, this is a pretty solid performance, from start to finish from the team, from the metrics. Now, we all watched the game. The offense did not perform great until the final half of the fourth quarter. The defense really did turn it on, and I think they were the star of the show. And for a unit that I do think think has been hanging on to dear life and not getting as much attention or criticism as it probably deserves because the offense had been so woeful. They played lights out in this game for quite a bit. So yeah, big step up by the defense. And Chris Jones also, I mean, phenomenal in this game when he was out there.
Yeah, Chris, I think, was one of the big stories of this game. He was a key cog in like making this thing go for a large stretch of this game and disrupting and holding. One of the big stories is going to be the Chiefs finally getting the Colts to kick a field goal in an and goal situation, which hadn't happened all season, right?
Yeah,
that changes this game entirely. Them being able to get off the field in that situation and forcing a field goal. So that was huge for the Chiefs, and Chris deserves a ton of credit for that. I think he's the player of the game for this team. I mean, you could point to Rashee Rice, but he was massive down the stretch. But I think the Chiefs needed vintage Chris Jones. They needed a guy that's able to dominate the game, and I think you got that out of Chris today. You did,
and it allowed Spags to call some of the things that I think were frustrating me earlier on in the game. I sent our group chat, because Maddie unfortunately is not here with us today. Sending you a virtual hug, buddy. But I sent the group chat that the third downs right before the half were really pissing me off. The way that they were rotating coverages, the way that they were looking at some of these matchups, it was really, really frustrating to see a lack of communication in the secondary. Now, certainly that improved after the half. They did a better job of rotating and shifting. We saw several times there at the end that what was it, the fourth down play? No, it was a third down play. That Daniel Jones, it had to be a third down play because they didn't go for a fourth down there at the end.
Yep.
Third down play where the Chiefs went cover 0, and it just looked like pure chaos pre-snap for the Chiefs. And, sorting everything out, they did a great job of passing things off and getting guys covered and doing a really good job of, making sure that everybody was on the same page after a first half that, frankly, looked like they were playing the run and were just allowing everything up the seam. You didn't have that same sort of situation in the second half. Once they started to get some of that sorted out, it gave Chris Jones the time that he needed. He was a wrecking ball all day long, but when the coverage kind of came into play as well, you started to see Daniel Jones was very, very uncomfortable back there because he knew he was going to have Chris Jones in his lap all game long.
There's no way around it. I think the Chiefs were significantly outcoached in that first half.
Yes.
Both sides. I mean, 3 quarters really. I mean, if we're gonna come down to it, it's 3 quarters. I mean, it was a 20-9 ball game, and things were looking bleak, not just for this game, but really for the season. This was. I mean, the Chiefs are teetering right now on a failed season of even making the playoffs, and they need every single win at this point. And I don't know. I think they would have had to run the table potentially for the rest of the season if they didn't come out with this victory here. So, I think the Colts brought it to them. I think Big Lou Anarumo called a tremendous game against this team. I mean, he really did.
He did.
And they had everything. They had answers for everything. They had answers at the right time. Even when he decided to bring pressure, I think they got him really good late, and Big Lou was absolutely owning Andy for the entirety of this game, really, and the Chiefs found some answers late on a couple big plays, but other than that, I mean, the Chiefs are lucky to be in the situation that they're in right now, Maddie.
No, absolutely. I mean, I thought the first half, it really felt like like you guys said, the Colts really had the Chiefs numbers. And in this one, the Chiefs were struggling to kind of get off the mat, and getting set back 7 points there off the turnover doesn't help, but it felt like Shane Steichen was pulling all the right levers to beat the pressure when it was coming, the blitzes when they were coming from Spags. They had good answers for the coverage the Chiefs were playing. Jonathan Taylor wasn't having big runs, but everything seemed to be going forward to get them ahead of the sticks in the first half. And that's the kind of stuff that I think changed in the second half. And then offensively, I mean, the Big Lou had a lot of answers. It's also kind of easy to have answers against the Chiefs. It's called man coverage, right? And so, he did a good job. I really thought he was doing a good job of balancing rushing 3 and dropping 8 versus sending pressure versus just playing, all these different coverage. However, at the end of the day, when you can just say, hey, we're going to play man coverage and we don't think that you can beat us, and you're proven correct time and time again, it's pretty easy to have the right answers. You're kind of doing just single digit addition all game long to be correct, right? And hey, the Chiefs figured out some answers eventually. They hammered mesh until it broke free a couple times late in the fourth quarter, and they went 2 for 13 on their mesh calls, but those 2 plays ended up being huge, right? And they did the same thing versus Denver, and one was Travis Kelce's touchdown. So, hey, they're going to continue to run double-digit mesh, and it might work a handful of times if they're lucky, but they get big plays out of it. So the Chiefs found an answer to it. Unless you guys you guys want to run through some super chats here real quick? We're getting some super chats in.
I would love to run through some super chats, and here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do first, though. Okay,
you tell me.
Because we need to. We're celebrating the Chiefs' victory here today, but we got a couple important things that we got to get to here.
Let's do it,
ladies and gentlemen. The KCSN Foundation Holiday Raffles here. I don't know if you were aware of that, but we wanted to make sure that you all knew that the KCSN Soul of KC raffle is live. And here's the thing. This is something that we do every single year. It's a holiday raffle that helps us reach out to Operation Breakthrough kids and help them have an incredible Christmas when otherwise they may otherwise not have that, right? And so this is something that we've been doing every single year. So we do a raffle. We have an incredible list of prizes this year, absolutely crazy amounts of prizes. And so what happens is you donate 1 ticket for 10, 5 for 25, 15 for 50, 15 tickets for $50, and then 50 tickets for $100, and you get 1 year to the KCSN.com premium newsletter. So all of this money goes towards helping kids with Operation Breakthrough have a great holiday season. So here's how you can help out. You can Venmo KC Sports Network, or you can go to givebutter.com/KCSN Soul. So in a couple weeks here, we're going to go out and we're going to help buy all these toys for all these kids, buy things. And it's not just toys. It's things that they need.
It is.
It's not just toys. I mean, it's really just things that all these kids need for the cold months. It's clothes, it's water bottles, it's all kinds of stuff. So we would really appreciate it if you wanted to enter this. And by the way, all the super chats also go to the KCSN Foundation as well.
Yep.
So if you want to do that as well, you're more than happy to participate. But I don't think you would be interested I don't know if you'd be interested in the raffle. I don't think we have anything to figure that out. But KCSN, givebutter.com/KCSN Soul. So please consider donating.
And this is year 5 that we have done this. I have gotten to participate in the purchasing process with these kids. It is amazing to see the way their faces light up. This is really a dream come true for some families that frankly can't afford to put presents under the tree or take care of their families in the way that they want to. So this is a big deal here. And the prizes that we have here. I mean, I was just in the office over there and I saw some of them. There is some pretty awesome ones. I mean, the one that jumped out to me as a video game fan here is Mike Tyson's Punch-Out signed boxing gloves plus poster. I'm not joking. This thing is huge with real boxing gloves on there. Yeah. What's up, Betty?
Oh no, I just said, hold on now. I got to see what's going on over here.
Yeah. No, that's that. There's a lot of really great, Chiefs gifts. If you're not a specific Chiefs fan, there are some other things that are in there as well, and then there's credits, $1,000 tickets for less credit. You can afford to take your family to Arrowhead, see a football game. This football team that won today, you can go and do that. Some food gift cards, holiday distillery bourbon pack. There's a lot of stuff there. So please donate to the Soul of KC.
Yeah, so the link is in the description of the show, should be so. But if not, givebutter.com/KCSN Soul. I do think we need to get into some of these super chats, though. I do think we need to get into a few of those. And so, Maddie, I'm gonna let you run the board here because I don't have my normal setup here, so you've got it here today, buddy.
Oh. This is great. I wanted to make sure we had a super chats because you guys were phenomenal last week with the super chats when we were doing a little Chiefs of us and airing some grievances. So I got to make sure we get the positive super chats too, right? We got to be equal opportunist super chatters here. So first one here's from Joseph Jackson, Heart of a Champion. Hey, that's what this team was. That's really what they were. This one. We got another one here from Perry, and we can run on this one for a little bit because I think it kind of lines up. Good things happen when you stick to the run. Boy, it sure felt like as that game went on, the Colts actually respected the run a little bit, eh?
Yeah, it did. Yes,
well,
absolutely.
And Kareem Hunt, when was the last time he had 30 carries? I don't know if he's had 30 carries in a while, but that was...
That body's got to be ready by Thanksgiving. That's going to be tough.
I know. I've been thinking about that all day. Maybe that's why Elijah Mitchell was active.
Every time we saw Kareem Hunt, even there at the end, Rashee Rice, Travis Kelce peeled themselves up off of the back. It was like, this team plays football in 4 days.
It's like they've had 6 extra weeks of football over the rest of the league over the last 3 years. I don't know.
But to that point, the run game was working. I even scoffed a little bit when Tony Romo – I scoffed a lot of the stuff that Tony Romo was saying.
Hold on.
Do you want to throw the ball outside, Kent?
I do want to.
We can go off on Tony Romo later.
Yeah.
Oh, whole segment going off on
Monday.
When he put it up there, that it was, the Chiefs need to run the ball. I'm like, the Colts are 5th in defending the run. What is this? And then about halfway through the first half, I made the comments like, "Oh, that must have been something that they said in a production meeting."
Yeah, he did.
It must have been something that they heard in a production meeting. Boy, we give Andy all kinds of grief for not sticking to the run. He stuck to it today, and you got to see a good outcome. They controlled this football game. They really did. A lot of those long drives, as frustrating as they were that they were ending in field goals, they were predicated on the run. And for a football team that threw the ball for 330 yards today, and Patrick Mahomes had some really good moments in this, Kareem Hunt was excellent running the football.
And I think that's something that the Chiefs have not done enough of or done well enough or stuck to consistently, specifically against Lou Anarumo in the past.
Yes.
And so, I think part of Lou's thing has been to invite them to run the ball a little bit more because it was more of the era of hey, you know what? What if we just take the ball out of Patrick Mahomes' hands and see what happens? What if we invite them to just run the football a little bit more? And I think there was a stretch of that game where that was happening. But also, I think credit to the Chiefs for being able to get tough yards at times, right? Like a really high level of conversions running the football today, being able to, get into these, second and manageables was, I think, big for it. And for the most part, there was a couple penalties in this game, but I don't think penalties is one of the big storylines like it was necessarily against the Broncos last week, right? So I think the run game was massive, and just sticking to it. 30 times.
30 for Kareem Hunt. And the funny part,
And how many were RPOs?
Oh my goodness.
I mean, it didn't feel like a ton of them were RPOs this week.
It didn't. Well,
as soon as they threw it, as soon as they had it exactly sniffed out the first time that they tried it. I'm still.
There was no balance there. There was no balance between the running backs, and I think that maybe is the most surprising part of that. The fact that Kareem runs for 30 times, Clyde Edwards-Helaire gets 5. You would have thought that if I would have told you that this team was going to run the ball 41 times, you would not have said, "Oh, one guy's definitely having 30 in this running back room, Maddie."
Oh, okay.
Well, I will say, hold on, real quick. We got plenty of super chats to get into. We got all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a great show. It's gonna be a great show. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm gonna keep Craig Stout here as long as I possibly can because I'm gonna hang out with him. But we do have something we need to take care of. I am calling all Chiefs fans. You could be on the field at the 50 inside GEHA Field for the official coin toss at a Chiefs home game this season. Visit Chiefs.com/GEHA now and enter to win a chance to be on the field for a once-in-a-lifetime view of the pregame coin toss. Plus, you can score other exclusive prizes. Enter for a chance to win at Chiefs.com/GEHA. GEHA is the proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs. I tell you what, I bet you the people at GEHA are happy today with that victory. I know I am. Great people over at GEHA. We're going to take a break. Come back. Craig Stout's still going to be here. Plenty to talk about right after this.
Just a short drive from Kansas City. Experience the history, the heritage, and the bourbon at Holiday Distillery. Tour Missouri's oldest distillery, where real Missouri bourbon is made the old-fashioned way. Walk the grounds, taste the tradition, and take home a bottle of something special. Make the trip, sip the story. Holiday Distillery, Weston, Missouri. Book your tour at holidaydistillery.com.
I'm Brett Goodwin, one of the owners of The Learning Tree. The Learning Tree is a neighborhood toy store in Prairie Village, Kansas. This has been here in this location since 2000s, and my husband Alan and I purchased the store in 2023. Alan and I grew up in families where we've always wanted to have a business together. Alan grew up, for instance, his parents had a jewelry store. I worked in a local toy store here in Prairie Village when I was growing up. When this opportunity happened in 2023, we knew right away we wanted to contact them and pursue the store. We wouldn't have been able to get the store without the team at Emprise Bank. From the day we contacted them, they knew what we needed to do, which was very helpful. I would absolutely recommend the team at Emprise Bank to anyone looking to secure a business. We worked with Emprise from day one. They were extremely helpful. They were always great resources. We talk to them frequently. They know the area. They're very friendly. We know who we're going to talk with, and they know what we need to do. We hope we'll see you at the Learning Tree.
Missouri, big news. It's almost your turn to get in the game because DraftKings Sportsbook is coming to the Show Me State on December 1st. Soon you'll get fast payouts when you win, a safe and secure app that's easy to use, and promos that keep the action going all season long. No wonder it's America's top-rated sportsbook app. The countdown is on. New customers can sign up right now and score $300 in bonus bets on launch day. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code KCSN. New Missouri customers sign up today and score $300 in bonus bets once we're live. That's code KCSN. The crown is yours. In partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus, physically present in Missouri. Eligibility and restrictions apply, subject to regulatory licensing requirements. Bonus bets are not withdrawable and expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
23-20, Kansas City Chiefs beat the Indianapolis Colts in overtime and quite literally saved their season. We are out here celebrating, and Maddie was getting to some of the great super chats that are out there from the people. Maddie, you can keep that going, buddy.
Okay, no, perfect. I did want to say on the run thing, you guys talked about Clyde. I just want to say real quick, you guys did mention Clyde. I had more to say there, and Kent was like,
I know.
No.
It's just the most Maddie thing. You won't let it transition ever. If we want to transition, nope.
Because
Maddie's going to finish his take. He won't let it sit. He won't let it lie.
Because you guys didn't give Clyde Edwards-Helaire his flowers. You guys didn't say that, hey, he went out there and shook somebody in the open field. Something no Chiefs running back had done all year. He even did it in the whole, Clyde was fine. I know a lot of Chiefs fans didn't like. I just got to say, it's going to take 3 seconds to say Clyde was good, but no, Kent. That's why we're not going to let it slide. Shout out Clyde.
It's not like we're doing a show in 24 hours.
Maddie, know that I can reach over and mute him if you need me to. I have that ability.
He can too.
I can. Grayson, Craig is great. I once did pick the Bills. That is correct. We got Rachel here. The game counted the cardio for the day. Yeah, I can only imagine having a heart rate monitor on during this game. All right. Now, I did want to go back to this one because this one felt like it was going to be a little bit more of a conversation. Oh, and yeah, one more here coming in real quick. Randall also said Steichen going up 29, run, pass. Yeah, they didn't try to eat the clock up very well, but the Chiefs did a great job. We talked about it. Chiefs did a great job stopping the run. Mm-hmm. So
and
this is the one I wanted to linger on. No, can't get cut off. We're moving on to Dutch LV. We're doing a show here, buddy. Special teams tried their hardest to sabotage this whole thing. Also, never let Fulton
of course, Maddie wanted to get to the one where Tove slander.
Yeah, wins are a win. How'd you guys feel about the special teams? Thank you, Dutch. But how'd you guys feel about the special teams?
It's Groundhog's Day again. They've been abysmal the whole season. There's not a kickoff that they've had all year that hasn't resulted in a penalty. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting the same results. And they keep doing it. They are so bad at this. They're terrible. They're awful. They're poorly coached right now.
Tell us how you really feel.
I'm sick of the day. I'm sick of it. I am so sick of it. It is field position changing. How many times did the Chiefs start inside the 10 today? Because of penalties.
Yeah, because of penalties. Yeah.
It's just it's absurd.
The punt coverage is awful. The kick coverage is awful.
Giving up, great long returns.
I mean, yeah, that was what I was going to harp on. There in the first half, 2 of the Chiefs' punts, one I believe was a 30-yard net. The other one I believe was a 29-yard net. That they're punting, and one of them was an obvious punt situation there where the Chiefs had 4th and a very long way to go, and they were on their own side of the field. The other one was from about the 50. The Chiefs punted from about the 50, and it was a 30-yard net. It was abysmal. Like on a 4th and short, it is now to the point. Yes, Harrison Butker made all these field goals. Well done, Harrison. You know, that is the bright spot for special teams today.
Finally,
yes, I know. But it's now to the point where if you're near midfield and it's 4th and 5 or less, the Chiefs need to go for it.
Yeah.
They just really can't take care of things on that side and that facet of the game at the moment here. And it's really frustrating to watch short fields be given up. It's really frustrating to watch good returns get eliminated. It's really frustrating to watch bad returns go back even farther. They really, at this point, just need to fair catch everything. I mean, I know it sounds very simple, but just fair catch everything and then go for it if you're around midfield, if it's 4th or 5 or less, because it's just not translating into things that are positive for this football team right now.
The thing that bugs me the most, like I agree with everything you guys said, the thing that bugs me the most is every kick return, the Chiefs start at like the 22-yard line, and every time they kick off, the other team starts past the 30. And there's not a lot of wiggle room in how you can return kicks now. You can't move until the ball's caught. Like there's only so much you can do. So what is not happening there where they can't get the ball to the 30, but every other team does every single time? The shine of Nico Armijo as a punt returner is slowly wearing off. He seems very hesitant back there when he does catch the ball. And then finally, I don't know how Christian Fulton still is active at any point in time. That was not a great showing for a guy who played no defensive snaps.
No, he played a defensive snap. That 3rd and 5 that was really frustrating for me. He was the outside corner. They ran 3 in-breaking routes, and nobody picked up the 2 middle. Easy conversion.
They tried to drop.
They
tried to drop Leo from the A gap. They tried to drop Shamari.
That's right.
Not Shamari. It was Christian Roland Wallace from the opposite. Yeah.
And they both took the deep guy.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So anywho, no more Fulton. I think we can all agree. Shout out Nikita. Yeah, it was a very stressful, but it ended up being a fun game because they won. That would be a terrible game had they lost.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Yeah.
Brian gets it in here. Yeah, you two in the same room makes me jealous. It makes Brian happy, which is fair. Almost as happy as the W made.
We went to Kingdom Bar and Grill for lunch today.
We did,
and I sat there next to Craig. He said, "Man, I wish Maddie was here."
I did say that.
Kent
didn't, but I said that.
I said it. I'm kidding.
I just completely stole that.
Golly, man. Chill, but no, we wish you could have been here too. That's all.
Well, I appreciate that.
I do. There was at one point Maddie did think about just coming. Remember that?
Yeah, I did.
Like two couple months ago.
It was very tight. Yep.
It was a little snug. It was a little snug for that one. Primetime Rambo. He's happy with the win, but the front office needs to force Andy to make coaching changes. Listen, I have my qualms with Andy. I'm going to save those for another day outside of one silly first half red zone issue that we will talk about again later, I am sure. But everything else, they got to win. We can save the big Andy talks for a later time.
I will just add to
sure.
Whether or not the Chiefs make the playoffs, all this stuff, they know.
Yeah.
They know, guys. They totally know. So whether or not they win out, make the playoffs, blah, blah, they know that there's some stuff that's got to get changed this offseason. So, I don't think it really ultimately matters whether or not whether or not they win out. I think they know that they got to make some big changes this offseason.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it's down to right now, especially when you're watching Mike Kafka be very good for New York right now.
There it is.
I'm just saying.
There it is, guys. That's what it needs to be. It needs to be Kafka back in Kansas City next season as the offensive coordinator.
I would love that.
Titans head coach Matt Nagy. Start it now.
Here's the world. Under center play action is there. Red zone offense was bad. I mean the under center stuff game was pretty good today all around. Like they hit a couple play action plays, passes off of it. I think the run game was working. So as everybody said, go under center more. Things worked. But we're gonna transition to defense. Some Derek sent us 2 super chats. We're gonna talk some defense since Craig's here. Soon as Smith left, the run game got better. I don't know if the run game got better. I think they just kept leaning on it. But this is the one I want to go to. blitz everyone. Listen, after last week's game against Denver, where it felt like Bo Nix played Spags out of his aggressive nature because of some plays he made early in the game, Spags said, I saw what everybody was saying. There is no chance I am going out sad like a coward on my ass. I will blitz every chance I get. And the Colts even beat him a couple times early on it, and he kept sending them, Craig, like that. How impressed were you with what Spags was able to pull off there in that second half?
I was, once they started winning on early downs. Like, that was the most frustrating part about the first half. It was constantly, when they did get him to third downs, it was outside of that first drive, obviously, where the Colts had some penalties. It was a lot of 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s, and that's just not a situation where you feel comfortable blitzing as a defensive coordinator, because you're trying run blitzing, fine. You blitz inside, try and build the wall, that sort of stuff. Yes, absolutely. But trying to bring guys off the edge, trying to have longer developing exotic, crossfire blitzes, things like that, that's just not when you bring those sorts of blitzes. So they had to start winning a little bit earlier. And some of the ways that they did that were to start blitzing a little bit earlier. And so, when they do a great job on Jonathan Taylor, slow him down. Maybe it's a 2nd and 9. Spags is going to bring that blitz on 2nd and 9, and then maybe drop out on 3rd down, maybe blitz on 3rd down. Daniel Jones, his head was spinning in the second half because there was enough variability in the blitz scheme, alongside Chris Jones playing as well as he did, that it got you to the point where you felt comfortable as a defensive coordinator, Steve Spagnuolo, getting into that bag a little bit more. He was shook, Daniel Jones, that was. He was completely shook in that second half, did not feel comfortable back there at all. Lots of hits on the quarterback there. Not a game what we're going to look at in the box score here and say, oh, wow, Chiefs did a great job bringing it down. 0 sacks of Daniel Jones on the day. 0 sacks, and it didn't feel like it at all, especially in the second half there. They did a wonderful job, and the blitz was the major part of that, alongside Chris Jones playing as well as he did.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting to watch because, I think Steichen was very opportunistic. When you kind of look at this game a little bit more, and you just kind of look deeper at kind of how this went, right? The Colts get this touchdown early at the 4-yard line. They score that. Do you guys remember the other touchdown? Or the other one that got him right the big play? Do you remember the big play?
Oh, yeah, the leak play to Ashton Dulin. Yeah.
A 3rd and 1 leak play to Ashton Dulin is the thing that kind of props this team up on, it really props the Colts up on its entirety, right?
Yeah.
Daniel Jones really, I think it looks better for Dan Jones because early on he was averaging 5 yards per pass in this game too. It's not like Dan was just carving up the Chiefs. I think there was just some big opportunities that kind of arose there, some easy completions that Shane Steichen was able to get him early. And then when the game really got put on Dan Jones at all, really.
He went 2 for 10.
He went 2 for 10.
Yeah.
And so I think it looks a lot better, and it was just more just how it shook out for the Chiefs, them catching, Dan Jones, a big 50-yard completion to Ashton Dulin for throwing it 3 yards. And
because for some reason the Chiefs defense thought he was going to block. 110-pound Ashton Dulin was going to block.
The line.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that the Colts model was something that they've done in the past and they've been good at. Is hey, let's get out to an early lead and sit on the football and manage it and just kind of manage the rest of this game. I think that's what they tried to do and trust on Big Lou. And hey, look, it almost worked out for them. But they tried to take away some stuff from Dan Jones, and Dan Jones was itching to turn that ball over. He was so desperate to turn that thing over. He almost threw an interception twice on one play in overtime the second they asked him to drop back and throw it beyond 5 yards. I don't know why Dan Jones is catching so many strays right now. I apologize to Dan Jones.
He wasn't good. He was pretty bad.
He was
pretty bad in that game. Down the stretch. It, like you guys said earlier, as Spags kind of caught on and started coaching a more even game with Shane Steichen, it became hey, Dan Jones is going to have to make, some people are going to have to make plays for Indy, right? And they weren't able to. And a big part of that was Dan Jones. And I found the exact spot where I think that really changed. When it felt like Dan Jones was losing the grip. So the first half went really well for the Colts, obviously, and they had a couple field goal drives in the second half, but field goals are way different than touchdowns, right?
Yeah.
That's way different than touchdowns. And so you started to see, maybe there's something going on here. So the Chiefs in the fourth quarter, the Chiefs fumbled. Their next drive, they score a touchdown. And the next drive for the Colts was 3rd and 3, and the blitz was coming. And Dan Jones sent a little slant to Michael Pittman about 5 yards too far inside. And he wasn't under pressure yet, but the pressure was coming. And it was when I saw that throw, I said, Daniel Jones is not going to keep them in this game. Daniel Jones will not win this game. As soon as I saw that throw, because he was not about to be hit yet, nothing about the play was actively stopping him from delivering a good football there. And there was nobody over the middle of the field to stop Michael Pittman from beating Jalen Watson. And when he airmailed that over the middle of the field and just buried it uncatchable, I said, Daniel Jones is not winning this game. And it was at that moment, you can kind of feel it, I'm sure, if you're Spags. If we just keep sending pressure, even if he sees it, he's going to be on his heels now. He's going to be nervous. And then that's where we started seeing those soft, late throws out to the sideline that were almost intercepted over and over again, because he got real nervous at that point in time, whether it was the pressure, the moment, whatever it was. But like that specific 3rd down failure to Michael Pittman is like, okay, if the Chiefs offense can find something, this game is very winnable at this point in time.
He rushed that slant.
Oh my goodness!
You know, on that third, like we were talking about, like the Chiefs, like they showed Jalen Watson outside and late switch between him and Brian Cook, where Jalen Watson was actually over Pittman in the slot, so it looked like a late rotation of man. They were doing all kinds of rotations up top too, and the pressure got home, and Dan Jones is just throwing a slant off the back foot to. I like how I went.
You lean back
for the audio listeners. This is great. I'm leaning back on this too. He had a chance.
He did.
Yeah, but the pressure was getting to him, and he was terrible in the second half.
He
Like,
was.
He just wasn't about that life.
He was hot garbage.
By the way, this is January, by the way, for the Indianapolis Colts, just so you guys know. Like that is what that's what it's going to look like in January for them. And it might be Chiefs Colts in January in Indianapolis. And I might go that because I was there for 13. I might go exercise some demons. We'll see.
Yeah, that's a good idea. This is kind of what a lot of people have been waiting for. If you're a Chiefs fan right now, expect that there's going to be some praise. Oh, hey, the Chiefs are back. Maybe they're going to come back and join the playoffs. I mean, there's going to be some national hype around that. But I think what you're going to hear more of this week is Dan Jones got figured out. They did this with Sam Darnold last year in the playoffs. Oh, he got figured out. You know, the NFL national media has been waiting for a long time because the Colts were so efficient, which, again, if you watch some of those Shane Steichen play calls in the first half, they were cooking, man. They were absolutely cooking. But the Chiefs laid a little bit of a blueprint here. They were able to flash some free rushers in front of him. They didn't have to get home. They just had to flash them. Dan Jones did not get sacked today, and yet he was terrified of getting sacked the entire second half and played scared because of it. Now you're going to see teams that are going to come out, try and replicate what Steve Spagnuolo did specifically in that second half a little bit more. You are going to see probably a little worse play from Dan Jones. The efficiency is going to go down. You're going to see some of that. That's going to be the national media narrative. I can guarantee you we're going to be hearing a lot about that this week. And it's going to be because the game plan was great. They did a great job of kind of really dialing up the right blitzes, the right free rushers at the right time. Steve Spagnuolo is still elite at doing that. But let's go back just a little bit here. It wasn't just pure Dan Jones. Dan Jones hit some guys in the hands. He did. Yeah. He hit some guys in the hands. Everybody remember that Brian Cook play on first down, playing through the hands of Michael Pittman? That is a monster play. Really, really monster play. A floating pass down the sidelines and a gotta-have-it moment for the Colts to Josh Downs that Jalen Watson gets up, gets his hand on the ball, swats it away. We saw the Chiefs DBs really play through the hands, play pretty well at the catch point this week. I know we give them a lot of grief and a lot of flack for saying, oh, this team needs guys that have a little bit better ball skills. That's why Christian Fulton was kind of on the field. You were hoping you got a guy with a little bit better ball skills. You got to see this week, outside of Christian Fulton, who really didn't play a ton on defense, you got to see some of these safeties. Jaden Hicks made a couple plays as well. Those were needed. And so I want to really shout out the DBs. They made things go when Dan Jones did play kind of well. Did hit some guys in catchable areas of the field.
Trent had a big one.
Trent did have a big
in the
one
red
as well.
zone.
Yes.
Yeah. I think the DBs showed up today for sure, and they came out and played well. And Shamar, I think did some good things today in this game too. So there's a lot to like about what the Chiefs secondary did, and like they needed them to, especially since Spags was bringing pressure, right? Like you're giving yourself less of wiggle room for your secondary if you're going to try to bring some of this pressure. Well, depending if you get home, you're in great shape. But I mean, there's a risk reward there, and the Chiefs needed that secondary to hold up today, and they did a great job doing it. So yeah, I think that the secondary deserves a ton of credit.
Yeah, Christian Roland Wallace, another
yes,
quality game out there where
Can't
he keeps
believe I
playing
left
well.
him
And I'm very confused how the Chiefs didn't come into the year with like considering him as their slot corner, and they tried Shamari Connor first, then they tried moving Trent McDuffie. I'm happy that they're like still rotating stuff until they found what worked, and hey, maybe this is what works for them. But it felt like after what we saw last year, that this seemed like something they would have considered just a little bit earlier. But hey, maybe they finally found their rotation of what they want in that secondary, right? Like very clearly it's Trent and Jalen Watson on the outside is what they want. Seems like Roland Wallace is their preferred slot corner going forward to keep those two outside.
Yep.
We know Connor and Cook are playing as the safeties now. And listen, I know people want Jaden Hicks to play more and like, hey, maybe he'll keep rolling. But you guys were even talking about that play where the bad slant, Jaden Hicks had no clue where to go. He was being yelled at from across the field to get to the correct spot. Like he was being yelled at. Had the Colts not had to change their play and just gone quick, somebody probably would be open from a blown coverage because he was not in the right spot. I think they found their secondary rotation, which is big because that is something that Spags defenses have typically done as years have gone on during these pushes towards the playoffs and the Super Bowl runs as they get better as the year goes on, specifically in the secondary. So I think it's good that they're settling in on who they actually want to play.
And I think the communication wasn't even perfect in this game either, especially early on. It's like I think there's like we talked about, there needs to be more reps with the kind of like rotation that they're settling into. They need to keep getting more of those reps to be able to get things right. And it got better as the game went on for sure. There are some quotes coming in from you got something.
Yeah, I do.
Craig?
I wanted to bring that because we talked about how maybe the communication wasn't great. I want to talk about one that was.
Okay.
There was that late kind of shift there where we saw the Chiefs play really well. It was the play that Jalen Watson went up and swatted the ball away. You know, there was kind of a 50-50 ball that was thrown downfield. Nick Bolton made that play happen. Nick Bolton absolutely made that play happen.
Yep.
We actually went back and rewound it and watched it a couple of times. Josh Downs rotates across the field there, kind of gets a 3-by-1 look to the short side of the field on that side. Nick Bolton is screaming at Shamari Connor to move, to rotate. Drew Tranquil's also on the same page, getting Connor to rotate back. They really wanted to hit Tyler Warren on just like a real quick curl, just something real quick, that was going to be an easy conversion. I think that was maybe a 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4 or something like that. It was a short to go in that scenario, and they had it. The way that those guys were able to quickly identify, hey, Steichen's trying to get to this. We got to rotate into this. They really did eat up not only the Tyler Warren one, but they ate up the other, I think maybe it was Pittman, but they ate up the other receiver that was over to that side of the field as well.
It was an out route to Pittman.
Yeah, it was. It was an out route to Pittman because they were able to kick that over. Jalen Watson was able to trail that guy down the field with a little bit of help over the top from Brian Cook. It was really good to see when we had seen them not communicate, when we had seen, as Maddie was alluding to, a little bit of confusion, guys not exactly being on the same page there. That really kind of was the moment where I went, oh, hey, wait. They might be figuring a little bit of stuff out here. It was right before half. So, it wasn't like the game was in a controllable position for the Chiefs defense by any means, but it felt like that was kind of a watershed moment that led to some of the other ones. So shout out Nick Bolton. Once again, I know pre-snap stuff, that stuff matters, and that was one that they were able to get off the field on.
Some quotes coming in from the press conferences. Andy Reid, this is all Charles Goldman, does a great job. Gold, MCT NFL on Twitter, x.com. Trey Smith hurt his ankle. We'll see how it is as days go forward. Chris Roland Wallace hurt his lower back. Noah Gray got hit in the head, and he'll go through evaluations there. Yeah, it looked like he's in concussion protocol.
That one looked like it hurt.
I would guess that we see Jared Wiley for the first time on Thursday. Andy Reid very deferential to all of his coordinators and his staff.
Of course he was in this one.
Andy Reid says Spags had a great game plan. He says Chiefs head coach Andy Reid on Patrick Mahomes settling into the second half and overtime. He kept firing, which the great ones do, but Nags dialed up some stuff. The coordinator was on fire today.
Mash.
Wait, is that Andy? And also, is that Andy patting himself on the back for calling all those plays, and then Nagy just,
Unless Nagy is going over there and he's taking the sheet away from Andy and saying, "We're running the ball, coach." If that's what it was, hey, props, Nags.
Yeah.
Well done, buddy.
Yeah, I just thought that was funny. Andy Reid on committing to the run game more. I thought the line was controlling things there. We were getting positive yards on first down. Maybe don't run RPOs and they can control it a little bit more. Chiefs head coach Andy Reid on containing Jonathan Taylor. He's a great player. Our guys did a nice job wrapping him up. Yards after contact, you've got to really focus on wrapping him up. I mean, this is one of the best tackling teams in football. I do think that, it is unsurprising what the Chiefs did to Jonathan Taylor, because this is what they do to running backs like this every time. I don't want to, pick at a scab or anything, but they did this to Saquon in the Super Bowl too.
They did.
They did
it. They do it to Derrick Henry.
Exactly. They shut them all down.
Yeah.
There's not a ton of running backs that really do a lot against the Chiefs when it's a feature back and they're really trying to take stuff away. The Chiefs are one of the best at taking, true running back ones away, those kind of guys. So, there's some quotes from Andy Reid there. From the press conference.
You want to talk a little bit about offensive line play? I know you were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna save that to be my toast game, but that's okay. We can talk about it now, because I thought the offensive line was. I thought they were really good. I thought they did a phenomenal job in this game. And now, listen, the Colts pass rush isn't the most deadly in the NFL. They have a lot of pocket pushers. They have a lot of guys that kind of rush like the Chiefs do, right? And especially now, the way they're working right now, especially with their injuries, it's a lot of guys that are pushing the pocket. They're trying to collapse it around whoever the quarterback is. And so they don't have pure one-on-one beaters, but they definitely have guys that make it uncomfortable for the quarterback. And I thought the Chiefs offensive line in general did a really good job. I think as the game went on, you saw the Chiefs starting to go with a lot less block and release from their tight ends. Thank God, because that is incredibly annoying to watch average defensive ends get blocked and then released by your tight end. So he's late into a route when you have offensive tackles that should have zero problems handling these defensive ends, which they didn't. They didn't have an issue with it. So I was glad the Chiefs offense got away from that and trusted this offensive line. Josh Simmons, once again, since returning, has been practically lights out. I know he's being credited, I think, with giving up a sack in this one, so I have to go find that and see how it went, but I thought he was incredible, and he does a really good job of not, for a guy that in the preseason was a little late with his hands, sometimes got pushed back in the pocket. He's doing a lot better job as this year is going of giving a wide pocket for Mahomes to operate in. And Jawan Taylor had one of his better games again. He'd had a couple more rough games in a row. He had a better game in this one. Not great, but better. And then the interior, even with Caliendo stepping in, Caliendo gets a lot of flack for the Super Bowl performance. He was fine. He stepped in and played fine in guard in place of Trey Smith. So I thought this offensive line in pass protection gave them the time that they needed to figure things out as the game went on. And then in the run game, I'm with Andy. They were controlling a lot of what was happening, and it felt really good to see them get going downhill and really push a defensive line around in a way that I don't think we've seen a lot in the past couple seasons.
Yeah, I think they were getting downhill. They were changing the line of scrimmage actively when they were running the ball downhill a little bit more. That was noticeable today. And maybe it was just as little as they've been, as much RPO as they haven't had a chance to displace down the field as much. But I think, outside of some, I think they gave up a few negative plays or near negative plays because, a puller wasn't fitting their block quite as, well. And credit to the Colts because I think that they did a really good job of shooting some of those as well. So, a credit to them a little bit as well in some of those plays. But I think overall, you've got to be really pleased with what you saw out of the run game. And I don't know if they could turn around and hand the football. It's not turn around. Sorry, that's not even really what they do.
It was a little bit turnaround.
No.
Listen, there's a little under center. There's a little under center.
We're
there.
not counting that. No, they did good. I guess they did that double tight next to Patrick, and
Yeah.
But I think they, I don't know if Kareem Hunt's getting 30 carries.
Yeah.
On Thursday.
No. No.
that would be.
Not if they want him to play again this year.
I don't know if
mean,
they could give him 3
it's-
on Thursday. Like
so
that is
tired,
such a
man.
tight turnaround.
So tired, man.
Dude, Elijah Mitchell breakout game. Watch.
Might
Saving
be
him for
Clyde.
this one.
Might be
Yeah,
Clyde.
Might be Clyde.
Yeah. No, I mean, I really offensive line played terrific. Josh Simmons had some highlight reel blocks in this one. I mean, there was a couple of, got us out of our chairs here at the KCSN office a little bit because they really did such a great job of, blocking things up, getting everything there, just a couple of snatches, traps, things like that, put some guys on the ground. Jawan Taylor had himself a really, really strong game. He really had a strong game.
Except for that face mask that
face
was
mask
totally on
is
him.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Complete and utter bullshit. I am so glad that they showed it on the screen at Arrowhead, and that was coming through loud and clear on the TV. Everybody knew that was not a face mask there. So, I mean, Jawan Taylor had himself another good game. Kingsley had himself a pretty good game as well. I mean, it was one of those that you look at as a whole and you say, hey, for a team that had to use Mike Caliendo a little bit more, it was using Hunter Norzad a little bit as well towards the end of the game.
They lost Noah.
Yeah, you're getting deep into your offensive line rotation there, being able to still lean on this Colts defense a little bit and run the ball as effectively as they were. That's I mean, as hat tip as we can give to Kareem Hunt, we also have to hat tip there to the offensive line.
Are we still? We're still working to get audio from the locker room.
We are not going to get audio from the locker room today,
Okay.
unfortunately. Here, so
Okay.
yeah.
I just was. I was just checking in on that.
Yep.
Making sure that. We weren't missing
So.
anything else there. A couple other things coming in. Patrick Mahomes says there was a feeling in Arrowhead today, and with the defense says it felt all around like we're not going to lose this game. We're going to find a way to win. He called Kareem Hunt a warrior, which he absolutely was. Chris Jones on the series after Kareem Hunt's fumble. It was a critical point in the game. It energizes the defense. I think energy is contagious, especially in critical moments like that. I really believe in that one.
Yeah.
Because if you just kind of saw, we don't know what the rest of the season is going to look like. But the Chiefs had about 10 minutes left in their season. And they were down 20-9. And Kareem Hunt fumbles that football. And really, the entire energy of that entire team changed on the heels of that. And you saw the response from both sides of the ball after that moment. And Spags called his best 10 minutes of for a while. And the Chiefs found a way to move the ball enough offensively, even though Big Lou owned Andy yet again in the red zone.
Did he?
Yeah, because they had to. Yeah,
Okay.
They got all the way down. They,
Okay.
Just saying. Big Lou.
Chiefs went 1 for 6, but in reality, it's 1 for 5 because they were always kicking that OT field goal. But
Big Lou owns Andy.
Yeah.
But that's okay. They still won the football game. Chris Jones on winning this game the way they did and what it means moving forward. It's going to take every phase of the game to win. Dave.
Chris throwing shade.
A lot of field goals.
A lot of field goals.
We were able to pull it together today. It's a great building point. We've just got to be consistent with it. Yep. That's the name of the game.
Yeah. I want to go back to this. The Indianapolis Colts were averaging the most yards per game in the NFL coming into this. They were just ahead of the Buffalo Bills. The Chiefs' offense almost doubled them up today.
Wow.
Almost. 255 yards of total offense, net offense for the Colts, 494 for the Kansas City Chiefs. That is outrageous. I believe that is the lowest that the Indianapolis Colts have performed this year on offense. So I know there were a lot of firsts. Chiefs lose their first fumble of the year on that Kareem Hunt fumble. Yeah. The Colts were held out of the end zone for the first time in the red zone. And they actually held out twice this week here. They'd never been held out of the end zone. So just a lot of firsts that we saw in this game for both teams.
First one-score game the Chiefs have won.
That's absolutely the case. Oh, my goodness. It's great to get off of that goose egg. Holy cow.
And, I mean, I mean, despite their best efforts, again, because you talk about all these like crucial turnovers, just massive crucial turnovers that this team loves to make on both ends of the goal lines, right? Backed up to their own, they throw a terrible pick. Back or at the goal line, they fumble the ball again. Like, they overcome all those things finally in a game, and you kind of hope that that's like the thing that kind of turns this thing around. What do you think, guys? You think it's toast game time?
Do you want to hit Soul of KC one more time for the good people in the chat here? Just maybe some people who joined us a little bit late.
Yes.
Let's get that going.
Please
All
do.
right.
One more time before we get out of here. Quick reminder of the Soul of KC raffle that we are doing here at KC Sports Network. It is something that helps support kids at Operation Breakthrough who aren't going to have or may not have the same kind of Christmas that others might. So it's going to help them get a lot of basic needs that they might need with the help of the wonderful partners at Dick's Sporting Goods that we partner with every single year for this. We're going to try to help these kids have as many kids as we possibly can have an amazing Christmas. So the raffle information is right there. Tons and tons of great prizes you're eligible for. GiveButter.com/KCSN Soul is the link if you want to go check that out. You can also donate to the KC Sports Network Venmo. 1 ticket for 10, 5 tickets for 25, 15 for 50, and 50 for 100, plus a KCSN premium newsletter subscription. So make sure you are checking all of that out. And I have been missing this, Craig.
What have you been missing, buddy?
Toast game.
Oh, yeah. You guys
Been a
haven't gotten to do as many of those lately.
I'm missing you too.
Yeah. I thought maybe it was going to be deferential towards me.
No.
I was going to hate it, but this is way better. Let's pour some bourbon.
No, it's the KCSN or it's the Holiday Distillery Toast Game show. Are you playing the video or are you not playing the video? I don't know if you're playing the video or not. We don't
You should sing it.
don't.
Okay, hold on. Keep going.
I'm working on it.
How'd I do, Maddie?
That was fun. I think we should probably just put that in. We should dub that over the video and just have you doing that for every show going forward.
I don't think that the fine people at Holiday would sign up for that.
No, the video's still there. It's just you doing the music, I guess.
just the video clips of me going.
I guess I like. Yes, is the part that I like the most about that.
We are celebrating with the KCSN Foundation barrel pick, a 7-year soft red wheat from Holiday Distillery, and it is absolutely delightful. Craig, this is the first time Craig's had a chance to enjoy it in quite some time.
Correct.
So
I think maybe since the barrel pick.
This is gonna be fun for me to enjoy this with him as well. So Craig, why don't you do the honors?
Yeah.
On Toast Game.
Absolutely. My toast game, Chris Jones. I mean, an absolute game wrecker in a game that the Chiefs had to have. This is the second week in a row because he was good against Denver too. You know, I think there were a lot of questions coming off of the bye about Chris Jones specifically. What is he going to do? How is he going to play? Is he washed? All of this stuff. This is going to be a game that nobody's going to point to from a statistical box score stat perspective, and he wrecked it all game long from snap one. The plays that he was making near the goal line after the fumble helped change this game significantly. My toast game goes to Chris Jones. Salute, buddy.
We love it. Oh, we need to do that while we're together. What you got, Maddie?
Oh, you should go next.
Okay. Fine.
Don't steal
I'll go.
mine,
Do it, but don't steal Maddie's.
I'm going to go the entire offensive line.
Perfect.
After Maddie said that he wanted to do the offensive line for his toast game.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
No, this is perfect. No, I've already moved on. Okay,
Okay.
Kent's toast game in the offensive line.
Yeah, I want to toast game the offensive line. I do think that they played a tremendous game. I thought Josh Simmons, again, man, he is having a incredible season.
He's the real deal.
He is the real deal, and I cannot tell you. I mean, I think you know how big of a win this is for the Chiefs, but like they've been cycling through and going through so much to try to figure that left tackle position out for so long, and they found a guy that has the talent to be one of the best in football. Some of the metrics love him as one of the best in football, and I think he had one of his best games against the run or in the run game. I think it might have been his best game in the run game. So I'll go the offensive line with a special hat tip to Josh Simmons. How about that, Maddie?
It's a good one. I like it. All right. Go with me on this. This will be a little of a walk.
Oh, no.
I'm giving my toast game out to one, and it's going to be surprising. I don't think he's going to believe this. To Mr. Tony Romo for having such an unbelievably poor performance. It is going to provide everybody with laughs for the rest of the life. His performance on the mic was one of the most despicable things I think I have ever heard from a commentator. He could not be right to save his life. He spent the entire game begging the Chiefs to attack Sauce Gardner and Charvarius Ward with Hollywood Brown and Xavier Worthy on vertical routes. He said this game is unwinnable by throwing without throwing to the boundary because at the middle of the field is not where you would want to attack a defense that is just consistently playing man coverage or anything like that. No. The way to attack them is 50-50 balls to your 142-pound wide receivers who can't get open. That is the only way you will win this game. And nothing gave me more joy than Tony Romo trying to explain how Mahomes should sit in the pocket more so guys can get open, and then showing an end zone replay of everyone being covered for 5+ seconds, and then floating a ball downfield to Travis Kelce, who was still covered after 5 seconds, and pretending like him moving isn't trying to get somebody open. So Tony Romo gets a toast game for the absolute worst performance I have heard or seen from a commentator all season long, bar none. He needs to quit being on any football game, really, at this point in time.
Maddie, do you think it's a good idea to bring alcohol into this if we're talking about Tony Romo?
Listen, I'm not the one saying it. I was just going to let that slide under the radar, but I'm glad you picked up on it because
my favorite,
because
do you remember when he was like, hey, Mahomes is going through his progression too quickly, as literally everyone is covered?
Yes.
I'm watching him go. Like that's you want him to throw the slot fade to Xavier Worthy?
My favorite was near the end of the game. I can't remember if it was in the fourth quarter.
It was man coverage too.
Or in OT. Just the number of times it's like, okay, you got to have it on this play. It's this third down play. You gotta
big down, Jim.
Big down, Jim. Got to throw it outside. Oh, it's just right there. They're outside. Then they threw it to Rashee Rice for a giant gain in the middle of the field. And his explanation was, the Colts for the first time
never in the history of football
cover the middle of the field. When the Chiefs have been working it, Patrick Mahomes for 330 yards worked it in the middle of the field all game long. That was how they were moving the damn ball, dude. Like
my other one was.
I want to be clear too. Mahomes definitely missed some guys occasionally. Every quarterback does. There were times he scrambled from a pocket that was clean. Yeah, he does. It's by design because guys aren't getting open. It's just how often Tony Romo was going to the well. Let's check out this replay and see the running back check down open on the backside with two guys staring at him, making the one at the end of the half to Kareem Hunt where he said he might go for 50 yards in session one. I don't think Kareem Hunt can run. All respect.
That was what I don't think
he can run. I don't think he can run 50 yards. But there's two guys staring at him.
And the other thing is he's clearly reading the boundary side. Like he's got four. I think he's got 4 receivers in the boundary he's reading out. He's like, well, if he had just thrown the flat route to Kareem Hunt, he would have scored. Have you watched Kareem Hunt? Have you watched Kareem Hunt in the last
today?
I think he forgot Sauce Gardner was on the Colts.
Yeah,
I thought he forgot Sauce Gardner was on
did that side of the field, man. My goodness,
it was a terrible performance.
Awful.
So that was my toast game. Also, shout out to Rashee Rice for putting this wide receiver room on his back with a clearly hurting hamstring. That guy could barely run, and he was still doing the work of God for this receiving room over the middle of the field, Tony. So shout out Rashee Rice, but we had to get Tony in there. And I think the performance was so bad that it became funny.
This is a hilarious, go look at the Chiefs box score here. Patrick Mahomes throws for 352 yards in this game, 330 during the actual regulation there. 352 yards. Go look at KC's receiving numbers. It really is hilarious. Yeah, the 141 for Rashee Rice. That's great, but there's still 211 yards that you've got to account for here. And boy, it's a mishmash after that. 59 for Xavier Worthy, 43 for Travis Kelce, 31 for Brashard Smith, and getting integrated in the offense more and more.
Brashard Smith will be a Monday conversation.
It will.
Because that one, he's doing some things there that I think are super valuable. I do think it's funny that Tracy Wolfson got told before the game that Tyquan Thornton was going to be a big part of the game.
One target.
And he's the only player with a target that didn't have a catch.
Yep.
Well, it's because the Chiefs challenged the Colts corners outside on the sideline. So
Tyquan did a good job. Tyquan did a good job helping free Kelce on a play.
Oh yeah, no, Tyquan was still impactful in this game.
He did some good stuff in the return game as well.
Yeah, he did.
He did some good stuff in the return game as well. So that's not throwing a little bit of shade on my guy Tyquan Thornton.
Yeah,
it's my guy, man. But that is going to do it for this episode of the KCSN Postgame Show. It is going to be a wild 3 days here at KCSN, getting you ready and talking about this game, turning the page, because the Chiefs play the Cowboys in 72 hours, 96 hours, whatever it is. So that is going to be a lot of fun, and we will have you ready for that game. I don't know if Rashee Rice, I don't know if Kareem Hunt will be ready for that game. We're going to find out.
Ice baths for everybody.
Ice baths for everyone, including me and Craig Stout. That is going to do it for the KCSN Post-game show. Thank you all so much for listening, watching, supporting. We love you. We appreciate you. We'll catch you later.